In this video, I show you how I lost 8 kilos in 2 months, eating one meal a day. I talk about my fitness routine, my diet, and show you before and after footages taken in the same clothes. So first, let's take a look at the measurements. Before on the left, after on the right. So we lost 5 inches around the waist and 3 inches around the hips. I believe measurements are the best way to track your progress. That's my favorite way of doing so. And then you've got the weight. We have approximately 8 kilos. Um, like a day later, I was 64.1, so that's 8 kilos in 2 months and 1 day. And this is a before after again, just the same cafe. This was me before I started O.M.A.D and me after. You might not be able to see it. The same shot taken 2 months difference, you can see around the waist. I see it. I mean, at the end of the day, I see the progress. It's really important to take before pictures and after in the same clothes because you'll, even if you don't see a lot of improvement on the scale, you will see it in your clothes, and that's the most important to me anyway. That's taken 2 months apart. I think most of my weight loss happened in my midsection. So I'm a lot more comfortable in my t-shirt and in my training gear. Obviously, weight loss is not localized, it's everywhere. So this is the weight. The graph, I started at 73, approximately 72.75, and I ended up at 64.1. And so you see sometimes you have ups and down, but the trend is really going downwards. Don't be too annoyed by the results on the scale. It's going to vary every day, but if you do take down your weight in a graph and you have a trend line, you will see it go down, even though sometimes it goes a little up, a little down, a little up, and a little down. So what did I do? Number one, physical activity. It was a really nice summer. I walked every single day, and I walked a lot and a lot and a lot. I mean, honestly, I think there's on the 2 months, there's like 3 days I didn't walk because I was super, super tired. But the rest of the time, I walked like probably an average of 10 kilometers a day, but I think it's actually more. Let's take a look at the graph. I'd say it's on average 10 kilometers. And you know what? It was hard. It was hard. It's raining. It's a good thing I found a tree to shelter me, but I'm so hungry. So what did I do fitness wise on top of walking? I went to the gym about 4 to 5 times a week. I trained legs on one day and then upper body on the second day, alternating. Lower body days, I would do squats, deadlifts. Here you have before on the left and then after on the right. I do follow a program. I don't just do stuff when machines are free. I follow a strict program that was made for me specifically. So I followed the same program for 2 months and I got better at everything. I worked out hard, and yes, I lifted heavy for me and adjusted weights if it wasn't feeling like it was challenging enough. So I really pushed myself. I also have specific injuries, so I needed to work around them. So that's why I got the program done for me by Adam. I stopped training regularly since 2020, obviously with gyms closing. So I've really seen the impact of that on my weight and my health. And so it was important for me to push myself, but at the same time not injure myself and not go back to training too quick and too hard. So I worked on the same exercises during the 8 weeks so I could progress. But at the end of the day, even if I walked a lot and I trained hard, it's the diet, it's the one meal a day that really made that weight loss possible. So yes, I walked a lot, I trained hard. The food is the most important. If you look at the total calorie for 8 weeks, you see that most days are under 2,000 calories. Sometimes it is 1,000, 1,200, 1,800, but apart from 4 days in the middle that are over 2,000 calories, I was in a calorie deficit because 2,000 calories is my maintenance. Under 2,000 calories, I lose weight. Over 2,000 calories, I gain weight. So starting with the coffee, I was drinking lattes before. O.M.A.D, we can drink coffee, but it has to be black, no sugar, no milk. So I had to transition to black coffee, as milk or sugar will break your fast. I weighted every single ingredient I consumed, which means my calorie intake was tracked consistently as I entered everything in a chronometer. As I show you and report the data to you, I'm not just guessing what I ate. I know exactly how many grams of everything I ate. I track consistently. And this is super important because it means that I can actually assure you that the only reason why I lost weight on OMAD was because I have been in a calorie deficit for 2 months. If I hadn't tracked so religiously, so accurately, I could have guesstimated and I could have thought that OMAD was some kind of magical method, but really at the end of the day, I lost weight because I consumed less calories. So most days, my meals had bread, a source of protein, a big bowl of fruit on top of a salad and dessert. I have to say, I eat dessert every single day. I do love fruits, and I see a lot of people doing OMAD when and just ignoring fruits completely. Funny enough, it's the only thing that I really want to eat when I eat once a day. Probably because my body wants hydration, and in fruits, my body knows that it's going to find that liquid. And I have chocolate pretty much every day. Not a lot, just a square or two, but I have it every day. And we're two to share the same meal, so there's no distinction between a regular meal or what I eat when I'm on a diet. Or I'm not trying to lose weight. Basically, what I eat is the same. I just eat more when I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm eating less calories when I'm trying to lose weight. So you have examples of meals. They are pretty balanced. I have carbs, fat, and protein. I do not ever try to abandon a food group. I will always have protein, fat, and carbs, even if I want to lose weight. And so, whether that's through OMAD or 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day, it doesn't matter. I understand for me anyway, because I've tracked my data for so long now. I know that when I reduce my calorie intake, I lose weight. I am a fitness chef. It is very important to understand that I understand calories, I understand macros. This is my job. People pay me to make meals that are calorie controlled. And so I understand calories. I use tools as well, such as chronometer, a scale, to make sure that I am pretty accurate in my food tracking. As a fitness chef, I meal prep for people, I meal prep for myself. It really helps me lose weight. But the first step before meal prepping is food prepping. And I would strongly, strongly suggest that you try that if you've never done it before. This is by far the best way to make sure you eat healthy. And when you're actually hungry, which is, well, obviously on OMAD, you will be even hungrier because you don't eat a lot. If you have your fresh ingredients prepped in advance, you'll be able to just, as soon as you're hungry and it's time to eat, get in the fridge, pick anything you want to pick, and make the meals that you feel like having at that specific time. This is super important. When you eat once a day, you really want to enjoy that specific meal. And so if you don't have anything prepped, there's a strong chance that you will just go for the quick option, which might not be necessarily the healthiest. And I think for OMAD, it's important that we, yeah, sure, we can eat whatever we want in that one meal. That's the whole idea. But for me personally, I still want to eat healthy. Otherwise, there's no point in doing OMAD if it's to be, unhealthy. I do put the plate on the scale so I can actually know how much of everything I am adding, and that's simply for data reporting purposes. Obviously, you can eat as much vegetables as you want or can, and you will probably be okay. But when it comes to nuts, sunflower seeds, for example, nuts and seeds, or fats, oils, it's different. It's very different. And if you don't understand calories, really, you will be very surprised at how hard it is to lose weight, even when you eat once a day. So, this is another example here of why I use a scale for everything. So, sunflower seeds, a tablespoon, is really a vague measurement. If you put it on top of the scale, you'll have the exact measurements. And with seeds and nuts, it goes really fast. It's easy to overeat them. And I'm just talking in, the idea that you want to lose weight. Obviously, for health, go for it. Eat as much as you want if you want. But if you want to reach a certain goal, a weight loss goal, at some stage you will have to change something, and change that's something that needs to be changed is probably the amount of calories that you consume. So this is the end of the video. I hope this really helped you. I will do probably another video going into more details into some things, but let me know what you'd like to know and what questions you have. In the meantime, if you liked it, please like it and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!